Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh and a very good morning to Dr. Haida. My name is Nurul Najwa Jamhari and I am from the class LG2402A, and today I would like to deliver a speech on the topic of climate change, defined as the rapid alteration of Earth's climate due to human activities and the critical need for global action to ensure a sustainable future. The general purpose of this speech is to inform the audience about the causes and impacts of human-induced climate change and the global efforts needed to address it for a sustainable future. There are two central ideas, in which the first one is the major environmental problems caused by human-induced climate change, and the second central idea is global initiatives and policies to combat climate change and promote sustainability. First and foremost, let's picture a world where natural disasters occur with alarming frequency, where food and water are hard to find, and where species that have existed for millennia are suddenly vanishing. This is not a scenario from a dystopian novel, but a very real possibility we are approaching due to the accelerating pace of climate change. Climate change is not a distant concern, it's unfolding right now. According to NASA, global temperatures have risen by about 1.1 Celsius since the late 19th century, and the last decade has been the warmest on record. The evidence of this shift is all around us in the intensifying storms, the receding glaciers, and the changing patterns of wildlife migration. Climate change impacts everyone, regardless of where you live. Coastal cities are threatened by rising sea levels. Extreme weather events disrupt lives and economies, and the availability of food and water is increasingly uncertain. As citizens of this planet, it is crucial to understand the gravity of these changes and the role we play in either worsen or reduce them. Climate change driven by human activities is causing significant environmental damage. Immediate coordinated global action is necessary to mitigate its effects and ensure a sustainable future for all. To truly grasp the urgency of this issue, let's first delve into major environmental problem caused by human-induced climate change. The primary driver of rising global temperatures is the increase in greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide and methane. These gases trap heat in the Earth's atmosphere, leading to what we commonly refer to as global warming. The burning of fossil fuels for energy, whether it's coal, oil, or natural gas, is the largest source of these emissions. Every time we drive a car, heat our homes, or power our factories, we contribute to this build-up of greenhouse gases. The Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change (IPCC) has warned that if current trends continue, global temperatures could rise by 1.5 Celsius between 2030 and 2052. This may not seem like much, but even a small increase in global temperature can have dramatic effects on our environment. Melting polar ice caps and rising sea levels also one of the problems caused by humans. The Arctic is losing ice at an alarming rate, 13.1% per decade. This ice melt contributes directly to rising sea levels, which strengthen coastal communities and ecosystems. As ice melts, not only do we lose critical habitats for species like polar bear, but the reflective surface of the ice is also reduced, leading to more heat being absorbed by the Earth's surface, further accelerating global warming. Low-lying island nations and coastal cities around the world are at risk of severe flooding, which could render these areas uninhabitable in the near future. This is already a reality in places like the Maldives, where rising sea levels are at daily threat. Climate change is linked to an increase in the frequency and intensity of extreme weather events such as hurricanes and floods. For example, the hurricanes we see today are more powerful and destructive than those in the past, largely due to warmer ocean temperatures that fuel these storms. The damage caused by these events is not only immediate through loss of life and property, but also long-term as communities struggle to recover. Now that we have seen the environmental problems, let's discuss the global efforts being made to combat climate change and promote sustainability. One of the most significant global initiatives to combat climate change is the Paris Agreement, signed by 196 countries. This agreement aims to limit global warming to below 2 Celsius above pre-industrial levels. Countries have committed to reducing their greenhouse gas emissions with the goal of reaching net zero emissions in the second half of the century. This requires a massive shift away from fossil fuels towards renewable energy sources. However, the success of the Paris Agreement depends on the commitment of each country follow through on its promises. This means not only setting ambitious targets but also implementing the policies needed to achieve them. Second initiative, by doing the adoption of renewable energy, solar and wind energy have become the fastest growing sources of power globally. These renewable sources are crucial in reducing our reliance on fossil fuels, which are the main contributors to climate change. Solar panels and wind turbines are now more affordable and efficient than ever before, making them viable options for both large-scale power generation and individual use. For example, in many parts of the world, it's now cheaper to build and operate a new wind or solar farm than to run an existing coal plant. The transition to renewable energy is not just by reducing emissions, it also brings economic benefits such as creating jobs in new industry and reducing energy costs over time. In many developing countries, renewable energy offers a way to provide electricity to remote areas without the need for expensive and polluting fossil fuel infrastructure. And the last initiative is the role of individuals and communities. While global policies and initiatives are crucial, individual actions also play a significant role in combating climate change. By making conscious choices, each of us can reduce our carbon footprint. Simple action like using energy efficient appliances, reducing waste and supporting sustainable products can make a big difference. For instance, choosing to eat less meat, which has a high carbon footprint, or driving less by carpooling or using public transportation can significantly reduce your personal impact on the environment. In summary, climate change driven by human activities is causing profound environmental changes, including rising temperatures, melting ice caps, and more frequent and severe weather events. It is imperative that governments, businesses, and individuals commit to sustainable practices and policies to combat climate change. The stakes are too high for inaction. Continued support for international agreements like the Paris Agreement is essential to coordinate global sustainability. Every country, every business, and every person must contribute to this global effort. The need for immediate and sustained global action is critical to mitigating the impacts of climate change and ensuring a sustainable future for all. We have the tools, knowledge, and ability to make a difference. Now we need the will to act. The future of our planet depends on the action we take today. Let us change and secure a sustainable future for the generation to come. The Earth is our only home, and and it is up to us to protect it. That's all from me. Thank you for listening, and assalamu alaikum.